general, when you ask people how do they think that schools in America are doing, they're very pessimistic. When you ask them how are the schools in your neighborhood doing, they think everything's great, for the most part. And so you have a lot of folks that will say, they default to supporting things that they can clearly say, this would help my student. So when you talk about something like class size, a parent can very easily envision, well, yes, of course, my child would get a better education if Mrs. Smith only had 20 kids in her classroom instead of 28. So yes, I support that because that's good for my kid. I can see how that's good for kids. One of the problems is that a lot of reforms that the reform community, and I would say on both sides, not Republican or Democrat, but sort of reform versus status quo, is that a lot of reforms, it's tough to communicate about how it directly impacts a student. How does performance pay for teachers mean that students are getting a better education? How do new Common Core state standards, how does that lead to better education for the student in the classroom? And so you see the public gravitate toward things like we need more funding, we need smaller class size, because it's easy to get your head around, oh yes, I can clearly see how that would impact my child. So I don't necessarily know that it's that the public is set against reform. It's that we need to do, if you're in the reform community, a good job of explaining why these process changes actually lead to a system that leads to better student outcomes. And I think that's how you begin to shift public opinion so that these things like Idaho, that people are voting for things that will make a difference for students.